Well, it's January, and I thought you might like a tour of the flower farm. It's sunny, cold, and I have not really set foot out there since before Christmas. I am a flower farmer and florist, and I try and really take a bit of time off over Christmas because sometimes the year kind of speeds past. And while I'm determined to take a lot of time off, I realised that in 2023, I had 5 days in France and 3 days in Cornwall off between going back to work at the beginning of January and stopping. And this year, despite my official end of term being the 15th of December, I actually stopped on the 22nd. So when I stop, I then do Christmas really properly. And so I haven't been out there for a couple of weeks. So let's go and have a look. What have I got here? A lot of seeds. For those of you who saw my clip last week, I was ordering seeds. So here we have plants of distinction, good old lovely Higgledy Garden, Chiltern seeds, Simpson seeds, more Higgledy Garden. But I'm not sowing seeds yet because I'll wait. When I sow all my seeds pretty much together in mid-February, they will get away more quickly and give me just as much crop as I would have if I sowed now. We will have more cold weather. It's freezing at the moment. We will have more cold weather and also light levels. We will have 10 hours of daylight on the 15th of February. So I'm going to hold fire and sow my next crop of seeds on the 15th of February. And because of the light levels, they will grow up straight and green, not etiolated and yellow, looking for light. I'm a very eco flower farmer. So half eco, half mean. So I don't use grow lights or I do have a little tiny bit of heat in the beds in the greenhouse, but other than that, and only during weather like this, but most of the year that's turned off. So we're very basic. I'm like the super basic flower farmer. I don't have a cooler. I don't use any chemicals in the water. I keep my business tiny so that my husband and I sound like the Queen, can run the business pretty much as a two-hander. We do have Sue, my neighbour, who comes in between sort of mid-February and mid-November and weeds, 10 hours weeding a week. But other than that, it's Fabrizio and I who do it all. Anyway, enough of this chat. You want to see the flower farm? Let's go and have a look. And if you're new to the channel, you're very welcome. Please do subscribe to the channel. And we'll tell you when we've got more clips coming up. If you press the bell icon, and equally, if any of the tips and tricks we give you along the way are useful, you can always buy me a coffee, or better still, join my club, where we have 335 other club members. It's fun, the club. Anyway, on we go. The links for club membership and coffee buying are in the blurb to all my clips. There's a bit of snow on the ground here. My mother always says that if there's snow staying around, there's more to come. So here's the greenhouse, and look, I've just got a little bit of fleece, horticultural fleece along the back here. And these ranunculus are fine, and they're ready really for planting. I should really get them into the tunnel, so I'll wait for this cold period to go and then I'll get them planted. I've got some lovely hot flavoured for eating. Oh look, I think I have a free chive in there, thank you, that's my friend Katie. Various cuttings in here, just spending the winter, waiting for the spring. Love this. This is Salvia Hadspun, and despite this cold weather, everything's looking all right in here. A bit dry, but I'm not going to water while it's so wet. I'll wait for the weather to warm up a little bit and then I'll water. They'll just sit here. They're not drinking much. They're just not moving. And through these polytunnel doors are the first crop of sweet peas. I'm not even going to open the doors. It's very cold. I'm just going to leave them. I'm just checking on them. They look all right to me. There are 3 rows. And here in the big tunnel, we could do with a little weed, but most of it's all sitting there quite nicely. A little bit of frost damage, but all that's from self-sown anyway, so I'm not really worried about that. What's interesting, look at this. This is honesty for the spring. But what I'm interested in seeing, despite the cold, are those green people. Unless I'm very much mistaken, they are self-sown helichrysum. And I would have thought they were not so hardy. Anyway, I'm not watering in here. I'm not coming in here at all until this cold weather's gone. I'll just let everything sit and I'll come and sort it out in a week or so. But this patch here, down here, this is where those ranunculus will go when I plant them. I need to soak some more. Look, these are larkspur seedlings. They're all over the place. I last fresh sowed larkspur probably 8 years ago. I get so much self-sown larkspur in here, I don't need it anymore. And this is one of my bulb beds. It's very springy, but it still has, as you can see, lots of top growth from last year's perennials, which grow through the bulbs, but you can see the bulbs coming up. These little green people down here, they are wild bluebells. I love them. And more bulbs coming up. This is where the dahlias were last year, growing through the growing over the bulbs. And then look, here come the narcissi for April. Annuals and biennials live here. I'm not going to do anything except possibly, once it's warmed up a little bit, all these beds need mulching. Well, I've mulched some of them. We mulched through the winter, so just keep on pushing on through until the whole place has been mulched. This little place here are the tulips. I made a whole clip on how and why we planted the tulips like this in a kind of an Insta bed. And then over here is my new studio, coming along very slowly, nearly finished, but not quite. Here's the meadow. Fabrizio's taking the opportunity, we'll be having a few dry days, to give it a mow, to keep because we've had very warm autumn and early winter, and so the grass is quite long, so he's just mown it to keep the grass down so that the wildflowers don't get overwhelmed. You can have a look through, if you have a look through my playlists, you'll find lots and lots about the wildflower meadows, and you can see what they look like in the summer. This is a very pretty sort of trellis made out of crabapple trees, and the next layer will happen this spring. I've brought my snips up with me so that I can snip away the foliage of the hellebores and reveal the growing flowers beneath. I should have done this earlier in the autumn because it's a good way to keep any disease at bay, but never mind. I'll cut it and compost it. This is essentially a time of year when you walk around the garden basically making mental lists of things you've got to do: mulching, pruning, cutting back, clearing, making room for the next season. On we go. But at the same time, you're walking along with your eyes peeled for signs of spring. Look, bulbs coming up in the lug fall. And once you get your eye in, you start to see bulbs everywhere. And do you remember those hellebores I bought last year and popped in the ground in the woods to see if they would survive? And they have. They too are coming up. And I've cut their leaves away as well, so that we'll be able to see them when they flower. Hello, Tea Cake. There's my naughty dog. Tea Cake, what's this? She's very not interested in me. Ooh, look, snowdrops. And do you remember the cyclamen we planted in the autumn? Here they come. And here are the sleeping shrubs and perennials. Plenty to do here. Mulching. I need to prune the roses. Not today. I'm going to wait until there's no frost. It's very, very cold at night at the moment. Unexpectedly. Well, not. It's normal for winter, but we've had a very warm autumn. So I'm going to let things settle and not prune while it's so cold. I'll wait. So I hope you've enjoyed our little walk around. It's kind of, actually it's really nice. It's the first proper look round I've had since before Christmas. And it's all still here. Hasn't gone anywhere. And 20 minutes cutting back the hellebore leaves reminds me that I can work quite fast. So I needn't feel overwhelmed. The skill is that now what I really need to do is make a kind of careful list of works. Look at the time I've already got scheduled because I'm teaching a lot. I've got mentoring, workshops for the RHS and all of you guys. Lots of stuff going on. But also, as you can see, plenty to do in the garden. So I need to make myself a really tidy list of works and just start working through it. And off we go. My New Year's resolution is to never do things on autopilot. So instead of just starting and sort of mumbling around the garden, I'm going to think everything I'm going to choose to do on purpose and in advance. And every time I do anything, I'm going to think, can I do it better, faster, less? Because that way I'll make myself more intelligent as well as a better flower farmer. Anyway, on we go. Thanks for coming along. I hope you've enjoyed my little tour. And I'll see you very soon.